Now to jump into our second semifinal game, we've got FMB Monster tearing it up on offense, IB Strafen tearing it up on defense. On paper, this looks like a good one. Let's send it over to RG and Z Farrells for the call. Take it away, guys.
Thank you very much, Dave. Zach Farley alongside me, Ryan Glick. They call him RG, and this is a classic matchup between offense and defense. Who do you think has the upper hand?
Oh, this is a toss-up. You want me to flip a coin, Farles? Like you said, it's offense versus defense. One with that prolific passing offense, but then Strafen, which he has shown some of the best user skills in the nation. That's going to be such a fun battle to watch.
Maybe we should text Rico before we pick, but IB Strafen, you're looking at him right there. His rank has been climbing all week long. This is Ultimate Team, so he's got some great players. Let's take a look at his most expensive. These are his money picks, RG.
Yeah, you got Sean Taylor at safety, 6'3", can lay the wood. Play coverage fast. Anthony Barr, we saw him outscore LT with Anthony Barr alone with those interceptions for touchdowns. Ricky Williams ready to truck people over. Chad Johnson's been a monster all day, and Aaron Rodgers slinging the rock.
He really likes that Ricky Williams. That's a little bit of a lower version of the Ricky Williams, but he's really into it. He just says, that's the guy that plays the best for me. On the other side of the ball, it's Monster, and it's all about his offense. He is the 49ers Club Series champion. He is a diehard Niners fan. Let's go ahead and look at his money picks here in salary cap.
Yeah, Juan Velasquez from Tracy, California has himself a squad. We saw Dominique Rodgers-Cromartie blitzing and playing a lot of good man coverage. Same thing with Deion Sanders. He uses them both for the same exact thing. You got Tim Brown. The lower version with sure hands, though. Chad Johnson, surprise, surprise. We see him on everyone's roster. And that X factor, Brett Favre with that gunslinger ability that allows him with that quick release to throw those high passes off of the play action.
Great news for Monster as he can carve up most defenses that he's faced. But let's look at the scouting report, see what kind of defense this man right here runs.
For IB Strafing, it's be a champion right now. You are just so close to making the final game to represent your hometown, Minnesota Vikings. He's a diehard fan. He's been waiting for this moment for a long time. Capitalize the moment, my dude. And then FMB Monster, we talked about it earlier. You need to limit the turnovers. We saw he likes to air the ball out a lot, Farles, and doing that against Strafen could be risky. We saw how well his stick work is, and he has that 6'5" Anthony Barr that could actually go up and intercept some of those high passes. That's going to be an awesome battle to watch.
Champion chameleon, a chameleon with that defense all over the field. I mean, this kid, he looks relaxed. Looks like he's taking a nap. He's had to wait a little bit between his first two games. He sat there and he watched Killer Mike defeat Misery in the first semifinal, punch his ticket. Highly unlikely. And now he sits in that chair across from Monster, who takes the kickoff out to the 19-yard line, where this one is ready to go on offense. It's Monster. If you love passing the ball and you love lighting up the scoreboard, Monster is the guy you should be rooting for at home today. And then on the other side, if you love great defense, Strafen is who you should be pulling for. He says that he has the best user in the nation, and he can get away with lots on defense because with his one user player, he can take away so much.
Yeah, and we've seen him do that a lot today already. I mean, he had LT in a complete box, all types of user interceptions, and all types of havoc with Anthony Barr.
And there it is, Khalil Mack off the snap, makes it a 3rd and 13. You need your big players to play for you. In our last game, Misery couldn't get his Jack Youngblood as Michael Strahan, the lower versions, really off the ball and getting any pressure. But right early for Strafen, it's Khalil Mack coming up huge, and Monster with the quick pass, though, right back at it.
There it is, and that's going to be the battle that we're going to see in this game right now is can Strafen take away that high pass from Juan that he throws up to Randy Moss and Chad Johnson oh so often.
Goes down to the flat. Montgomery catches it but can't escape from the tackler.
Yeah, this is just going to be such a battle. And remember, folks, both of these guys are diehard fans of the team they're representing. You have a chance to get that by winning this one game. Guarantee yourself $10,000 and a chance to represent your all-time favorite team that you've been watching since a kid on NFL Network and to bring them back the championship and the glory.
Telvin Smith, the Seminole, down there in the flat. He's got 2 tackles early in this one, some hit power. Strathen spread his cap all around his defense. He likes to call a little bit of everything as Favre looks downfield deep, and Kraus punches it out. The ball's in the air, but it falls to the ground.
Wow. And Juan probably going to go for this. We know he's an aggressive type of player.
Look at this coverage here from Kraus. He goes up, RG, gets that user swat, and then, oh man, everyone's breath was held, but Taylor couldn't haul it down. Huge 4th and 9 here for Brett Favre, and he hits the same throw to Moss.
And that Moss seam route is so hard to defend. And if you look at the replay, you see how he goes up and jumps it and falls on his back. That's a hard animation to interrupt. And that's one of those animations that you get often with Randy Moss. One of the things that makes him so deadly.
Let's go, baby.
Shed up the middle. The sack gets there. That's Khalil Mack with his 2nd of this first quarter for Strathen.
Yeah, and Strathen finally dials up something after Moss moving the ball down the field on him. And I like how Strathen plays. He plays with a focused type of intensity, Frals, that really lets him keep his heart on his shoulder, but play, but not get too aggressive with it. He always sticks within his game plan. A lot of players, when they play with emotion, they'll take themselves out of their game plan. I don't see that from Strathen. This is a guy that seems to thrive off emotion.
He wanted a fumble on that 2nd and 18. Instead, it's incomplete, and now Favre goes back to Moss, but it's a pop. It's Sean Taylor on the hit stick.
Wow, what a pop. Like you said, Monster falling in love with that seam route, and Strathen showing off his stick work, clicks onto the defender, presses the X button. Sean Taylor laying the wood at the point of contact.
Huge hit there, knocks it loose, and now on 4th and 18, Monster's in no man's land. He's got to go for it. He calls play action. He goes deep downfield into traffic, and it's
I got dots.
He says he has dots, open receivers. RG, do you consider that throw a dot?
I don't know. It looked like he was throwing it into coverage, but when you're dealing with Randy Moss, just chuck it as far as you can and hope he gets behind him. And that's exactly what he did here. Look at it, Falls. It looks like the defense is all over him, and then Moss gets a step. And remember, that's not the best Sean Taylor item in the game. That's only an 88 overall Sean Taylor matched up with a 99 overall Randy Moss. Not the greatest personnel matchup for Strathen. Monster takes advantage of it on a 4th and 18.
11-play drive, 81 yards. That 4th down conversion means that offense strikes first in this battle. And now the defensive-minded Strathen takes over on offense. He didn't need much offense in his first game, a quarterfinal against LT, your Chiefs Club Series champion, as he was able to defeat him 21-0, took that lead early in the half with a pick 6 from Anthony Barr. But he's going to need some offense, and he's got a route there to Tim Brown. Bad pass lead upfield caused that to be incomplete.
Yeah, and no possession catch. He went for the aggressive catch in that situation, Frals, which had him hang up in the air a little bit too long, allowed the defender to come and make contact. Had he did a possession catch, he would have had a chance to just get down and get the completion.
Smart move for Rodgers, gets out of the pocket, throws it away.
Wow, what a ball game. And one thing is, Strathen's trying to fight against the curse, Frals. You know, people don't usually win tournaments when they bring their girlfriend to the tournament with them. Strathen has his girlfriend here in the back watching the event. So can he be somebody to break the Madden curse, which is don't bring your girlfriend to an event?
Trying to break the curse and walk away with $20,000 tonight, but Monster is sending the heat off the edge, and on 4th and 17, it looks like Strathen can't go for it because he's in his own territory.
Yeah, young Juan Velasquez playing some amazing defense, a.k.a. Monster's got stick, and he's going to get a chance to get back on and make this a 2-possession ball game. Let's see if Strathen's going to be able to take away that Randy Moss seam route. It's just obvious that that's where Monster wants to go.
Monster, just 20 years old. He's going to continue to throw those high-point passes. You cannot run nickel blitz against my offense, was his quote. Fortunately, if you're Strathen, that's not what you like to call. You call everything. You call dollar, you call 3-4, you call all different formations in one time. Touchdown, Ocho.
Ain't no cover 4.
Can't call cover 4.
You ain't no cover 4. You're getting burnt is exactly the quote we got from Monster. and he is utilizing the seams as good as we've seen anyone do all year, Falls.
Look at that throw, all the way, lays it out. Paul Krause can't catch up. In strafing, he's mixing up his different coverages, but Monster's got to answer for everything he's thrown at him, including cover 4.
And who would have thought the answer is just the seam streak route and let it up and let your receivers go make plays. Monster's got to be feeling good about himself, but again, Strafen is a guy that's dealt with adversity before and has been known to make comebacks. We saw him do it multiple times at the Club Series regional at Minnesota.
He's got -7 yards so far today, and there he drops his first pass. Monster's well over 120 yards with completions in his 2 drives so far. He's got 2 long touchdowns.
And the thing is, he has 2 touchdowns in the first quarter, Falls. If you remember, he had 4 touchdowns, passing touchdowns in the first half in his last game.
2, 4, 6, 8.
Oh, man, his offense is just on fire right now, Falls. It's fuego.
Strong play from Monster early in this one, but Monster gets, Strafen grabs his first positive play of the day. 11-yard gain, moves the chains, and he'll hurry up to the line. Go to that. He runs that Saints playbook, RG. It's one of the most popular in Madden every year at the Madden Bowl. I believe 9 out of 16 competitors used that. Oh man.
Pick the ball.
Oh, man. Juan wanted an interception.
Needed it. But he's looking good so far still. And on 2nd and 10, you see that window. In perhaps the gunslinger could have been the difference. He doesn't have gunslinger on Aaron Rodgers, but I mean, that throw was very, very close to actually being caught. You know?
It's a really good point, Falls. The gunslinger would have allowed that ball to get there sooner, which would have gave Paul Krause less time to break on it. Almost got the interception there.
Pressure off the right side, screams in. That's Averill, who's been a beast today for Strafen.
And the 4-6 defense has been dominant in this tournament, Falls. You talked about it with me earlier before we even got on the stream. And Killer Mike already in the finals running that 4-6 defense. And Juan putting on a clinic with it right now.
The fumble, the ball is loose, and Williams scoops it, but it's going to be picked up for 4th and 24. And now his family's watching this thing. His girlfriend's here. They're all football fans. They all know what's going on, and they know he's got to find a way to fight here and slow down Monster. He can't give up those long passes downfield. He's got defenders in the area, but they just haven't been able to slow him down, and Sanders takes it up near the 40, where Monster takes over. 2 drives so far, 2 touchdowns. What's Strafen got to do on this 3rd drive here to change it up?
He's going to have to make a play with his Anthony Barr. We saw in his first game, he had 2 defensive touchdowns with Barr alone, 4 interceptions, and so far we haven't seen anything from him. He's going to have to stand up for himself and make a play on one of these high passes.
Oh, yeah.
And another thing that you see here is Monster going down into a big formation with 2 tight ends and a fullback. He's going to look to pound the ball a little bit, chew some of this clock away. When he does that, if you're Strafen, you better have your run defense out, because Juan, even though he's passing a lot right now, earlier in the year, he did impress us with some of the best running game and stick work that we saw from any of our competitors. So we know he can run the ball.
Certainly. Favre here looking to the corner, and it's just wide open. The feet get down. And since True Boy was eliminated in the first match of the day by Killer Mike, who's now in the finals, you got to say that Monster has the best probably run stick left. Strafen thinks he has it on defense with Anthony Barr. You see him active across the middle as Smith comes in and grabs the sack here to make it a 2nd and 16.
It's a big defense right there by Strafen. Went to some man coverage, man blitz right there. And this PA seam slot play from Monster has just been so effective, and great play call by Monster right there, Falls, to get himself into field goal range. He needs to be careful here and not take a sack or a turnover, because he can make it 3 possessions.
Looking, he's already up 14. He's got Favre dropping back, scrambling. Will he go downfield? It's an overthrow. He can't hang on, and that was one of the notes that we had on this guy, Monster, is as long as he can limit his overthrows, he's had some sketchy special teams. Let's actually hold and see.
And I think what we're seeing is Monster has cleaned up a blatant weakness that he had earlier in the season, where he had a reputation of being a guy that throws into coverage often. And that's usually not something you could do when playing on an elite level.
Now he's just doing it sometimes.
Yeah, you don't see him do it a lot at all. He's throwing the ball away. He's getting it. If he's throwing it at the coverage, he's throwing it deep enough to where his receivers get to outrun the defenders. So we're seeing how dominant he can be once you clean up some of those weaknesses in your game.
And to me, that comes with experience. I talked to him before this event, and he said that he was actually pretty nervous at the Classic. And now he's not nervous when he plays anymore. It's all about confidence as Strafen throws a very confident strike down the middle. That's Aaron Rodgers, just his second completion on 7 attempts, but a good chunk play to get him up near midfield.
Yeah, good play by Strafen. He's going to have to do something against this 4-6 cover 2 invert defense that Monster is running, because it is causing fits all the way up the field for all of his opponents.
Rodgers to the right. Williams takes the hit. In our last match, you saw Killer Mike. He had everything to play for, to represent those Seahawks and to get into the championship. Both of these guys are in the championship already. They're at ranks 13 and 15, so cash on the line for sure.
You see this invert, Pauls. There's nobody in the middle of the field right there deep.
Can he find the seam? He does, and Brown hangs on and gets down to the 18.
And there you go, Strafen attacks that area of the field where there's no safety. Juan keeps taking the safety that's usually in that deep third, and he's bringing them in the box right here. You see all those goons.
He's usering across the middle, and Brown catches and hangs on again.
Tim Brown making some plays.
Stringing together a couple completions for Rodgers. He's up to 5 here. 4 on this drive. Strafen has 10 passes, 0 runs. 0. That is shocking. Let's see if he decides to take it to the ground here on 2nd and 4. His first carry of the day to Williams. Falls forward, comes up just shy with 3rd and inches.
3rd and inches, and you see real quick on this, we missed it on, and I want to call out that cover 2 invert play art to the people at home. So, you know, if you're looking for some defense, I mean,
especially in the red zone. Here we go. Looks like a run commit. Williams gets to the edge. 2 carries, 7 yards back to back.
Big tackle right there. First run of the day for Strafen. Now 2nd run of the day. First down for Ricky Williams. Getting it done.
Approaching the 2-minute warning. Strafen down by 3, scores, but he goes up top to Moss, and he gets a strike. So 17-7 pending this extra point here for Strafen. And now you're built on your defense. No one wants to play you because you have such great defense, but he needs it.
Look at the QB on this one. Sell this play fake, pivot his foot, throw the high pass behind the defense. Moss gets his feet down, and we've said it already. Strafen, no stranger to fighting back through adversity, and he's well on his way right now with that touchdown drive.
He better be Strafen here on defense, because he hasn't looked like Strafen so far early in this one. He's given up some big plays, uncharacteristic. He's loaded up on defense. I mean, look at the depth of his entire squad. This kid, he can't just build for one formation, RG, so he's got to have an Anthony Barr, a Telvin Smith, an Eric Reed, a Jalen Ramsey, a Khalil Mack, an Ansah. Like, he has such value across formations with the Averill, because he plays so many areas where some guys will just stack that one formation like the 4-6.
And instead of going with the best versions of some of these players like Paul Krause and Sean Taylor, who have 94, 95, 98 overall items, he went with the lesser versions of them. His Sean Taylor is only at 88 overall, and his Paul Krause is only at 89 overall.
Fumble, Ruski, ball is out, but he's able to jump on it, and if you're Strafen, that was the play you needed to get back into this one. We'll watch it again here. Favre with the play fake, but the blitz gets looped around. It's Khalil Mack, and then Ansah grabs on. So, deep ball,
again.
And he hits him again.
You can't run that.
Oh, and
you gonna get burned every time.
Tell him, Juan. Tell him how you feel.
It's gonna burn him every time if he runs the cover 4. Strafen, I don't know. Man, outrunning his defenders deep. And we're going to jump back and look at that play deep downfield. Monsta says if you run cover 4, look at Favre with the gunslinger getting that ball out. I would love to see that one more time. That was so important to that play. That gunslinger on the Brett Favre item. But down in the red zone, he hands off up the middle. Can't punch it in. And then Strafen's going to take a timeout.
Strafen most likely going to have, if Juan doesn't get the first down here, going to most likely have a little bit less than a minute to answer back. It'll be interesting right here if Juan gets 6 or has to settle for 3 falls.
3rd and 6, minute 24 to go. He goes to the air rather than keep the clock moving, and he throws the high point out of the end zone, and he's going to settle for the field goal. RG, we have 32 competitors coming to Burbank. They'll be coming at the end of April or the beginning of May, depending on their groups, 16 and 16.
Correct.
To compete for $500,000.
Correct.
Do you feel like they're watching this event today, and are they saying, hey, I use conductor on my quarterback, which lets me get a couple extra adjustments, but I need to consider a gunslinger quarterback after seeing the performances by a couple of these guys today?
No, you're not lying. When you see something be as effective like this, where Juan's getting all these one-play touchdowns, getting the ball quick, really taking advantage of all those blitzes, you have to think, is this something I need to incorporate into my game plan? So that's a good call for us. I wouldn't be surprised if we see quite a bit more gunslinger quarterbacks in that Madden Championship final.
All the players still tinkering with their salary cap lineups here as they have some time, as the field of 32 will not be set until tonight, as a guy like Killer Mike at the last second, he right before he turned into a pumpkin, he snuck into the number 32 spot for Killer Mike.
What a story, a serviceman in the Air Force. No one really knew who he was. My goodness, has he made a name for himself today, huh? The question is, who's going to be joining him on NFL Network? Is it going to be Strafen? Is it going to be Monster? Right now, it's looking Monster, but again, Strafen, no stranger to making comebacks.
And he had the seam, but he decided not to throw it. Instead, a very smart check down.
Love the focus on that young man's face, Charles.
Great attitude, great guy, great kid. Youngster, he labs with a bunch of guys. He loves playing for something. He's just a competitive guy. He said, talk is cheap. You got to go out there and prove it. It doesn't matter what you say you're going to do. You got to prove that you could beat these guys. And he throws to Olsen, and Cromartie misses the play, and Olsen scurries his way down, does not get out of bounds, but he goes all the way to the 4-yard line. Look at Cromartie step in and try and make the play. Instead, Olsen with the high catch grabs it.
Look at Juan not giving up on the play, though, and stops him here at the 4. And we know it gets stingy down here on the goal line, especially with Strafen having no timeouts. It's not like he can run the ball at will.
And he needs a touchdown here, not a field goal. He can't afford it, and the run is going to get questionable, but instead he goes to Thompson for the high point. A catch, ran it, threw it quickly, knew he had it. He's been hitting that a couple times today. 20 to 14. He's only down 6 as Monster has had a couple field goals. You see Rogers go right back, high point, gets both feet in.
Yeah, if you're not high point passing down in the goal line, I don't think you're playing competitive Madden, right? Because we're seeing it all over the place. And Strafen putting it together, fighting a 14-point deficit and fighting through the girlfriend curse right now to get himself back into this game. Got to be impressed with this young man. We've got 2 high-level players going at it.
Yeah, that's a championship level. It's a championship level drive from Strafen. He had no choice but to come back down after that. He wants Strafen begging Juan to throw it one more time.
Yeah, do something stupid.
Oh, saying do something stupid. They've both been talking to each other a little bit in this game. You know there's a whole bunch of respect off of the sticks, but when you're talking about playing for a game that's going to guarantee you a spot on the NFL Network, an additional $5,000, man, there's no friends while that clock's ticking.
No way, no how. The first half is out of the way. 20 to 14, Monster takes the lead early with some great deep passing. Strafen will have to come back after the half. RG, do you completely abandon the cover 4 if you're Strafen?
Oh, if it's me, I'm absolutely getting away from that cover 4 if we're in deep ball territory. Juan has showed you time and time again that he can hit you over the top for that big play. If you're Strafen, you need to take away that deep ball and make Juan show you that he can do something else other than those one-play touchdowns and really put a drive together.
It's interesting. You've got Strafen telling Juan to do something, and then Juan telling Strafen not to do something. Don't call cover 4. Do something stupid. Let's go hear from Dave, who's over on the stage.
Thanks, guys. Like you said, there's been a lot of trash talk back and forth for this one so far. Still yet to see anybody really contain FMB Monster's play-action verts. He's been going downfield all game for both of his games today. Interested to see how Strafen makes some adjustments in the second half. Before we jump into a quick interview with him, I want to remind everybody that if you want some more tips and strategies and tricks to up your Madden game, follow Madden Ultimate Team on Twitter at EASports_MUT. Get the latest on new packs, giveaways, rewards, and more. As we take a quick little look at our bracket, before I talk to my man Strafen here, we see Killer Mike already has secured his spot in the finals with a big win over Misery. Now, Strafen, I'm here with you at halftime, down 6. This is the first time I've really seen you face some adversity so far today. How do you feel like you're going to respond to this? What's going to happen in the second half?
I'm all right. I just got to stop giving up those deep balls, so I think I'll be okay.
Absolutely. Well, you're only down 6. You got a half away from being a finalist in the first ever Club Series championship, excuse me. How are you feeling? How's your mindset?
Feeling good. I'm glad I got 7 before half. Yeah, I kind of like where I'm at. The pressure's on him right now, so we'll see.
Awesome. Well, best of luck in that second half, and let's throw this back to our casters, RG, Z Farles. Take it away, guys.
Thank you very much. Zach Farley here with Ryan Glick and Ryan. RG, as they say. These two guys are both such big fans of their teams that the honor for them to be able to represent them tonight is going to be big. So there's a lot on the line in this second half.
Yeah, they have been representing their teams as strongly as could be, but the problem is they're now butting heads, and both of these guys want to represent their team, and neither one of them wants to budge. The thing I love about Strafen is in that interview with Dave, he immediately said it. Got to stop giving up the deep ball, which I completely agree with. And he said the pressure's on Monster. I'm coming for him. So that lets me know he's not feeling a lot of pressure, and he's ready to continue to go out there and play his game, which is exactly what you need to do if you're Ryan Robert, a.k.a. Strafen. And Killer Mike is anxiously watching this game because the winner of it will face him tonight on NFL Network.
Strafen, a former college baseball player, suffered some injuries, unable. He's got the same story as a lot of these guys like Skimbo. They played sports. I actually played football, growing up.
Two-time All-State.
Two-time All-State receiver. Suffered the injury, gets to college, starts playing Madden, fills that competitive void for him. So, of course, he's not nervous. He's got that athletic background, and it's really going to have to serve him in the second half as he starts out down 6 on his first possession, but he gets the ball to Randy Moss.
And he's also a numbers guy, graduating with a degree in statistics.
We could use him to crunch some numbers for the group stage. Bring him out like, hey, are you busy right now? You don't play till tomorrow? We could bring him in.
He's making so much money playing Madden lately, I don't know if we can afford him.
1st and 10. Rogers had the route deep downfield. RG, show me he just missed a touchdown.
Yeah, he definitely missed a touchdown right there. Pressure bust pipes. If he had just a little bit of an extra second, you see this B wide receiver is going to break on a post route, and he is wide open, has a step, but just not enough time to get it done.
Just unable to get the ball out. Maybe a gunslinger gets that ball out in time. We'll never know because he is using a conductor, Aaron Rodgers. Does let him make multiple hot routes here, and he's needed it so far. But the seam throw to Johnson breaks a tackle. Shades of dub.w, a hot one for the touchdown.
And what a way to answer for Ryan Robert. He said, what girlfriend curse? And he gives Juan a taste of his own medicine with a hot one. Hike, throw up the seam, catch it in stride, get on your horse, and now I'm up by 1.
Xavier Rhodes blows the tackle, and Johnson takes it all the way in. And suddenly, Strafen, who was down early in this one, gave up some huge touchdowns, leads 21-20.
And he knew it all along. He told you the pressure's going to be on Juan, and if it wasn't before, it is now. And that's what you need to do, Falls. You need to have that confidence to know that you're going to go out and execute and get it done. And a great start to the second half by Strafen right there on that opening drive.
And I don't want to do any jinxing, but
Come on, man. Come on.
Monster
It's not going to be it.
has been so safe with the ball. He's a guy that normally can turn it over. He's been nearly flawless.
Yeah.
Really limited his turnovers. And now he's trailing. Is he going to potentially start forcing some throws downfield? Just like this.
Good swat. There he is.
Bradbury, what a
cover
play.
4, playing the deep ball right there. Strafen staying stubborn.
It's a gold corner, 80 overall for Strafen.
Bradbury's a beast, though. He's one of the best budget players in the game. He can hit. He has speed. He's 91 speed. Corner Falls can play a little bit of man, a little bit of zone. 6 foot, 6'1". Great item to put on your salary cap team.
The fans at home right now, they're watching live on Twitch. They're on YouTube. They're on Facebook. They're following us over on the Mutt channel, catching some clips. They're writing down that name, Bradbury, and they're going to search and add him on the auction house to their squad.
And Juan has himself in a situation. You talked about how well he's been playing in the first half. I don't really even remember many mistakes from him. And he still finds himself down 1 point, and that's very discouraging for us. When you feel like you're playing an immaculate game and you can't really look back to anything that you're doing wrong, that's frustrating. And it's just the resilience of Strafing to just keep on fighting and not go away. This is a great matchup, Frals. They're living up to the expectations, huh?
Yeah, and if you're just tuning in, this is our second semifinal today. This is Strafing, the Vikings champion, against FMB Monster, the Niners representative. And they are both awaiting Killer Mike. And Monster says, I want Killer Mike in the finals. He goes downfield.
He says, I'm glitchy. I love it, Juan. This is such a good game, Frals. They are going back and forth, 4 5-minute quarters to get yourself an additional $5,000 with a chance to turn it into $20,000. And these guys are battling.
6 plays, 80 yards. He capped it off with this Randy Moss up top throw. Defender can't make the play, and Juan goes in. Does not go for 2, though, RG, and now has a 6-point lead, 27-21.
The 6-point lead is interesting, but what it allows Juan to do is if he's able to get a stop right here, all he needs to do after that is get himself in field goal position and hit the field goal in order to make it a 2-possession ball game. So a lot of people might have went for 2 in that situation, but Juan showing confidence in his defense that he's going to be able to get a stop and trying to make it that much more easier for his offense once that happens.
Saw some good clock management in our first semifinal between Misery and Killer Mike. Both guys very smart, analytical, running the game, managing it. In Madden, you can't just be the guy calling the shots from the quarterback position. You got to be the GM and put your team together. Then you got to be the coach. Know when to use your timeouts and know when to take the points, not take the points. In this game, we're seeing super high-level stick skill. I know a lot of people, everyone had the opportunity to qualify for this club series online. I begged the people that watch the Muttcast, that subscribe to the Twitter channels and all that. I said, please go sign up for this. It's online. It's an online qualifier to jump in. You see a guy like Killer Mike, make the most of that opportunity.
Yep.
You see these guys with the high stick skill. These Madden players know how to play. They are very, very good. The precision on the throw like that doesn't catch it. But some great precision.
And here's the situation right now, Frals. This is that 4th and 6. And if Strafing isn't able to convert this, we just talked about it, Juan is already in field goal range where he'll be able to take his time, run the ball, kill some clock, and kick a field goal to make it 2 possessions, worst case scenario. This is a huge play, and you see Juan calling a timeout in the second half because he knows he needs to have his defense ready right here. Biggest play of the game thus far, Frals.
He'd instantly be in field goal range with a stop here on 4th and 6, but if you're Strafing, you wouldn't be here if you didn't have a play for 4th and 6, and you go out to the flat, and Ricky Williams doesn't pick it up.
What a big tackle right there by Juan. And now he is back in control. Look at this replay. The cloud flat comes running down, and it's a game of inches. Ricky Williams a yard short.
And then he goes deep downfield, and Randy Moss hangs on. It's been there all day.
Wow.
What a turn of events here in the second semifinal of this Club Series Championship. It's looking like FMB Monster of the 49ers is taking control, and now he's going to go for the 2.
Yeah, because it's already a 2-possession ball game, so why not?
Favre in the shotgun. What else would he do? He would pass on a high point, but Strafing, no doubt about it, ready for that one. His Brett Favre has 4 touchdowns, rocking that gunslinger, spreading the ball around, getting it out quick.
Randy Moss, at what point is Strafen going to stop leaving him one-on-one with that cover 4 safety? If we look back at that last touchdown, you'll see it right here. It's Moss again, one-on-one with a cornerback. And when you're talking about the 99 overall Randy Moss, best receiver in the game, it's a rare item. It's not easy to get your hands on that item. He's going to do work like that. You got to account for him with more than just a single DB.
Absolute pressure off the right side. Bosa making some waves, and Strafen takes back over on offense. He won our first event out at the Mall of America, Archie.
And Monster with at least 8 passing touchdowns in 2 games with that Brett Favre.
Wow, he hung on to the rock. Monster applauds his opponent for a good play there. Hung on, a nice read, deep downfield.
Strafen right back and getting right back into Monster territory. We got ourselves a good old-fashioned shootout going on right now, Charles.
Shootout, we had it 21-20. Strafen just a couple seconds ago, and now Strafen's trying to get back down to make this a play. So this game has gone back and forth. Monster early, Strafen near the half, and then Monster jumping all back over it.
Yeah, we've had 2 great semifinal matchups so far, Falls, and this has been amazing. These guys are truly showing their talents and why they're some of the best players in the world. Neither one of them can push the other one over.
Both players certainly worthy finalists. Touchdown, Tim Brown. Have you ever seen a guy hang on in that much traffic? I know we're in LA, but even that's a lot of traffic.
That's even a lot of traffic for LA, but you know what? If anyone's going to do it, it's the Hall of Famer, Tim Brown. Look at him. Once he gets his hands on the ball, anything could happen, and there it is. Precision pass over the user to defender, and when you're a legend, you can hold on to passes like that.
Killer Mike awaiting his opponent. He's probably back there practicing, but at this point, you can't start preparing for either of these guys because it's anyone's ball game.
Oh, this is up in the air. If you're a viewer at home, what a treat you got in this semifinal.
And there's plenty of time left in this one, RG. Third quarter, 1 minute to go. Yards starting to stack up pretty equal here. Favre fakes the handoff. Gets sacked, though. That's Khalil Mack. He's got 3 today.
Yeah, Strafen's going to need that pressure to come in there and start making some plays because Juan is looking for those deep balls deep downfield, and you can't let those routes develop because it's almost inevitable that Moss is going to find a way to get behind that defense if you give him time to do so.
Young gamers everywhere watching Juan here on offense. They like the way he throws the ball downfield, relentless. He's just 20 years old. He's living his dream right now. He's representing his favorite team. The Niners won their Club Series championship, the last spot, and he's making the most of it.
And at 20 years old, Falls, just from playing Madden 17 alone on our circuit, the least amount of money that Juan will walk away with by the end of the season is at least $15,000 minimum.
Not a bad day for playing a game you like.
At 20 years old, that's some fun cash to play around with. Hopefully you put some of it away.
Absolutely. Smart day, especially on 4/15. That's the date today.
Yeah, exactly.
Tax day.
I wouldn't have mind 20 grand, you know, back when I was 20 years old.
Huge 4th and 2 to get back in this one. Brett Favre, quick throw, drops the ball.
That's not the read.
That's not the read, Strafen says to him, because he clicked on and hit the receiver.
That was the read, though. Eric Reed out in the flat, forces the hit stick, and Montgomery drops the ball. And now Strafen already in field goal range. He trails by 5 in this one. It's not even the 4th quarter yet, and this game is now shifting back in the favor of Strafen.
And Strafen looking like he's going to attack the seams on this play, give Juan a taste of his own medicine. He's got him!
Oh, Brown dropped the ball. Close. Good call there, G.
Yeah, well, you knew it. He's been attacking those seams, and for that cover 2 invert, when you only have 2 deep zones, and both of those deep zones are your outside corners, you're going to have to attack that deep seam area of the field. It's what Juan is giving you. You see the safety this far down in the box.
It's coming across the middle. A great read on the backside there. Johnson grabs it. He's got 4 throwing touchdowns himself. I know we've been saying that he's all about his defense, but as the clock hits the 4th quarter and the people put their 4s up, he's already got 4 passing touchdowns himself.
Yeah. Strafen, very balanced in this game. He's not only a defensive player, he can get it done on offense too. And that's what you need to be able to do if you're going to be a world-class player, Falls. You need to be able to get it done on offense, defense, and special teams.
Hunter, the Viking, sneaks in. Doesn't fully shed, but grabs the QB, hauls him down 5 yards back. And now it's 2nd and 15 from the 20, but this does open up a few more route options for Ryan, a.k.a. IB Strafen. Your Vikings Club Series champion, down 5, and he throws the pick. Grabbed by Monster, that's Flowers, across the middle.
Wow, look at Juan when his user defender sees the crossing route coming over the middle, cuts underneath it, and takes advantage of Strafen and gets the momentum right back. That was huge, Frawls. This feels like one of those boxing matches where they just stand in the ring and just slug it back and forth, back and forth. No one can gain all the momentum.
User lurk. Montgomery.
And for those that don't know, a user lurk is when you control a defender from the snap until the interception point and make the interception. They call that type of interception a user lurk, Falls.
Gibbs has never gotten one. Uses his D-line.
I don't believe you.
Across the middle, picks it up, and Monster's moving. He's just 13 of 22, which isn't all that prolific, but it's been the big plays that have really stacked up. Those 13 completions have gone for big yards.
Yeah, when 10 of those 13 completions are just 30-yard seam routes right up the middle, I mean, it's going to be pretty effective.
Let's go back and take a look at the goal line interception. Early play in the 4th quarter. Strafen down 5. What a play for Monster, trying to secure that spot tonight on NFL Network. He'll be facing Killer Mike, the Cinderella Kid. If he's able to move the chains as he's doing right now, he's got to keep the clock moving though.
Yeah, keeping the clock moving definitely helps. But I think more importantly, Falls, is getting into field goal range, making sure that you're moving the ball and you get into field goal range like he did right there, so you could at least make this an 8-point game, so you know there's no way that Strafen can get the ball back and go up on you. That lets you play a little bit more comfortable, a little more relaxed, take some of that pressure off of you. So that was a big completion right there by Juan. Look for him to run the ball here, start trying to kill clock, and be very willing to settle for 3.
4-3 defense there for Strafen. He came out in the cover 4, but without much yardage deep downfield, he was able to use it to stop the run for no gain. 2nd and 10. And
right there, Monster has the chew clock on, which allows him to take time off the play clock in a faster manner. Wow, and he gets knocked out of field goal range. What are you doing, Juan? That was the one thing you couldn't do.
Just like that.
Just telling him.
Tell him we don't got to do any commentary. Strafen's doing it for us.
A crazy maneuver. The sack comes in off the right edge. It knocks Monster out of field goal range, and now he faces a 3rd and 18, and he goes for the possession catch.
Wow, that was huge by Juan right there. And Strafen was smart on the play before to blitz, get him out of field goal range. Doesn't send the goons this time, and Juan has something dialed up for it.
Very smart to get down as Taylor was coming in to deliver the hit. We've seen him separate man from ball a couple times today. Juan will take it to the 2-minute warning. He's just a couple minutes away from a historic event coming up on the NFL Network tonight at 9
and
Eastern.
He's got his whole family back home watching, 49ers fans. He grew up a 49ers fan, and he's that much closer to representing his team on NFL Network. And keep in mind, Pauls, this is the first ever Club Series championship, so he's going to get to be a part of history, being in the first ever Club Series championship final if he can advance here past Strafen.
Only 20, man. Only 20, and he's got 3rd and 5. He's got 20 yards to go. He's 20 years old, and he does the high point throw one last time to Randy Moss.
Wow. He has literally made a living on that route all day long, Falls, all tournament long, and he is utilizing his personnel as good as you can. Playing to Randy Moss and both Brett Favre's strengths.
He got the hit stick there, but couldn't force a fumble. Randy Moss has been tearing him up today. 11 catches so far in this game. For a Madden receiver, that's a lot.
Yeah, absolutely. 11 catches is a lot, especially up against the player the caliber of Strafen.
That's a lot in the NFL. That's a lot in Pee Wee. That's a lot anywhere. 5 seconds left on the play clock.
You gotta be careful if you want here. You don't want to risk a fumble.
Nope, you fake it. Oh my goodness! He delivers a mean hit stick. No fumble. Juan, really bold call there.
Really bold call, because if he's taking knees in this situation, at the most, Strafen's going to have about 20 seconds left to go downfield and get a touchdown.
Clock's still moving.
You have to be careful.
Let's see if he hands off. He does, and he sneaks in for the touchdown. FMB Monster breaks it in on a run play. Thought he might go to that seam, but he just said, you know what, I'm going to keep it on the ground. We've got a lane, cuts it up with Montgomery, and he goes into the end zone.
Wow, at 20 years old, going to have the opportunity, Falls, NFL Network, represent the 49ers, and walk away with $20,000 potentially, and at the very least to walk away with $10,000. And that doesn't include the $8,750 he's already won this year in the $5,000 final. I know I'm throwing a lot of money out right now, a lot of numbers.
I'm going to catch some. I want to catch some.
The point is there is a lot of money going around right now.
Oh my seals it with an interception. A user lurk of his own. Flowers ends it, and we've got a concede on the match from Strafen as FMB Monster. Juan Velasquez puts up 40 points in this game, and Strafen goes down in that one.
And good show of respect by both players. I love that. If that's one thing you notice a lot of the time, is no matter how much trash talking is taking place during the game, no matter how big the stakes are, at the end of the game, everyone's usually shaking hands, showing a lot of love, and happy to compete with each other. Two world-class performers in Strafen and Juan, a.k.a. FMB Monster, but today it was Monster's day.
Not just in the passing game, but on the defensive side of the ball, too. Monster got it done. Let's go talk to our man, Dave.
Thanks, Farles. I am here with Juan. Juan, you are going to be a part of history. You are going to be representing your favorite team, the San Francisco 49ers, in the first ever Club Series championship game. What does that mean to you?
It's just exciting. Representing my favorite team, it's just crazy.
Yeah, dream come true for sure. Your opponent in that game is going to be Killer Mike. He has been beating up on guys all day today. How do you feel like you match up with him?
He's running my D. I'm the one that started that 4-6-D, so I know every weakness to it.
So it sounds like you got a pretty good game plan against Killer Mike for the final. Congratulations again. Best of luck in the final. We are going to take one more look at our brackets to see exactly how we got here. We have had really just an awesome day of Madden. Killer Mike, Misery, IB Strafen, FMB Monster. Coming out of the semifinals, it is Killer Mike, 34-31 victory over Misery. FMB Monster, 40-28 victory. This is all gearing towards the Madden Championship, which is happening the group stages on April 29th and 30th and May 6th and 7th. The finals on May 12th, 13th, and 14th. The finals will be live on the NFL Network. Come back and join us at 9 p.m. Eastern, 6 p.m. Pacific to check out the first ever finals of the Club Series Championship. Tune in then. Thanks for watching, guys.
I earned this jersey by leading the league in tackles. Twice. I was drafted 9th overall in the 2012 NFL Draft. And I was Defensive Player of the Year. The best place to get authentic NFL gear, NFLshop.com.
The war room awaits. You are in the hot seat, controlling it all. Choose a coach who will execute the game plan. Draft a roster of some of the premier NFL stars of today and possibly even yesterday.
A great pick here.
Take them to the field where you'll put it all on the line.
Charles is free. Nothing but daylight ahead of him. He's going to take this all the way.
Your strategy, your draft, your championship. This is Draft Champions.
I've learned thousands of plays under 5 different offensive coordinators. I've thrown over 5,300 passes in my career for over 60,000 yards. And that's just some of what I had to do to earn this jersey.
I went online and ordered it from NFLshop.com.
The best place to get authentic NFL gear, NFLshop.com.
That's right.
Gronk it. Gronkalicious. Gronkosaurus. Gronkity Gronk, Gronkalonka Donka, Lonka Gronk. Available now in the App Store and Google Play.
Introducing the new Xbox One S. The only console where you can play over 100 exclusives on the fastest, most reliable gaming network. So bring every friend you have and build new worlds together. This is the new Xbox One S.
Get the new Xbox One S.
Collect your favorite NFL players. Upgrade with stars from the past and present. And dominate your rivals on the field. This is the next level of fantasy football. This is where the season never ends. This is where legends are made. This is my ultimate team. What's yours?
I've played more than 200 consecutive games. I've caught over 1,000 passes for over 11,000 yards. Had to block some of the toughest defensive ends in this league over the past 13 seasons. Done all that and more to earn this.
I found it on NFLshop.com. My mom got it for me.
The best place to get authentic NFL gear, NFLshop.com.
Really appreciate you having me over, Russ. But with Xbox Live, we can play against one another anywhere at any time.
Is there something wrong?
I'm good. I'm fine.
Because I know he likes you coming over.
He's crushed my leg.
Play together on the fastest gaming network. Get the new Xbox One S.